I've had some recurring feedback over the last 2 episodes that in using my main account to help me get through quests, I've heavily devalued the Ironman aspect of GNOMELY, let alone the snowflake aspect. This is a thought that never even occurred to me as I was playing the account, it's just what I would normally do, but after second thought I've realised that some of the best snowflakes in the game have actually made it a point to not use their mains. While it is too late to go back and do Troll Stronghold without my main, from this point forward I'll be de-rusting my series and going at everything else alone. Also, I am no longer planning on trading with Ressler. I've re-reviewed the items that he can give me, and yes, while the Green Man's Ale would make the herb lore grind slightly easier, and the fact that he sells limestone bricks would let me train construction much more easily, I don't need either of those things. All they would do is remove from the challenge, and I can get my account by without them. And the 2 molds that he sells, the Sickle and the Holy mold, I can obtain through my POH, so I'm axing him from my list of allowed areas. One last exception I planned on making was venturing down to the fancy dress shop in Varrock, and making myself both a pair of gloves of silence and a spottier cape. I can obtain the items needed for these without exceptions, I can simply hunt for them, but I can't do anything with those materials without getting them to Varrock. I would love to have these items just for the fashionscape, as they don't offer a ton of benefit, but the benefits are there, so I would like to know what you guys think of me making a one-off to get those items. Secondly, I want to talk about exception items. When I first started playing GNOMELY, I came to the Gnome Stronghold pre-equipped with a fairly hefty list of exception items. All of the item requirements needed for Death Plateau, Enlightened Journey, Eyes of Glowfrey, and so on. These are essential to reach the end goal of the account, and I still have no qualm with me bringing these with me. However, I've been losing sleep over one of these items, and that item is the pestle and mortar. The pestle and mortar is required for 2 of the quests in the chain, both Eyes of Glowfrey and Monkey Madness 2 itself. However, the fact that I bought one with me as an exception item still isn't sitting quite right with me. I haven't yet used it for anything, but if I wanted to, I could use it to grind unicorn horns which I get from implings, and train my herb lore considerably faster than cleaning low level herbs. The problem is that feels an awful lot like cheating, but why is that? Well, other snowflakes wouldn't have done this, especially considering Ultimate Ironmen don't have a bank to store one in. I should just shut my ass up and deal with the fact that a pestle and mortar isn't available in my areas. Until I remember that means I can't complete 2 quests. But I do have a workaround for this. Let me take you back to episode 1 where I said this. I am currently tossing up whether I keep access to Tirana after I complete Enlightened Journey, however, and here's why. The island would be locked behind difficult requirements, just one being 75 woodcutting, which I have to get with a steel axe, and on the island, not only do I unlock a herb lore shop, I also get another furnace, another altar, and potentially the ability to craft lore runes. Coincidentally, Troll Stronghold rewards the lore talisman, and Brimstale in the Gnome Stronghold offers teleports to the rune essence mine. If one day I was ever crazy enough to lamp to 54 runecrafting, I'd have a seriously awesome piece of content unlocked. Unfortunately, I don't think it's realistic, but why not try? I know that the series loses its appeal if I make too many exceptions, and I also did say that I would be giving myself one-time access to quest areas, strictly to get the quests done and nothing else. But despite the lack of gnome theme, Tirana seems to me like the best solution for this problem. Here's why. Tirana is accessible via hot air balloon directly from the Tree Gnome Stronghold, and the requirements are quite hefty, 75 fire making and the use of magic logs to unlock the route, which requires 75 woodcutting. Tirana features a lot of content, a prayer altar, the runecrafting altar to make lore runes, easy access to glass blowing materials, but the biggest 2 things for me on the island would definitely be the herb lore shop and the furnace. If I allowed myself to keep access to Tirana after Enlightened Journey, I would have a legitimate means to obtain a pestle and mortar that doesn't feel like cheating. If I don't allow myself access to keeping Tirana, I could still purchase one here to only use for the 2 quests, but not allow myself to train herb lore with it. Either way, both of these alternatives to simply bringing one in with me as an exception item feel much better to me, and I want to consult with my audience as to which route I should take. I'm going to make a straw poll and put it in the description with the following options. Should I allow myself to keep access to Tirana after both completing Enlightened Journey and unlocking the hot air balloon route? This would require me to polish off both 75 woodcutting, 75 firemaking, and obtain 2 more quest points, and the only way to get those without training herb lore and doing Watchtower quest is by training my cooking up to 70 and completing the 2 required recipe for disaster subquests. This would also give me easier access to a furnace, although the weight restriction on hot air balloon travel wouldn't allow me to bring much ore, and also let me train my runecrafting. However, I would have to lamp from like 22 to 54 first. Or should I not allow myself access to Tirana after the quests, and purchase the pestle and mortar on the way through only to complete Eyes of Glowfrey and Monkey Madness 2? I understand this option equally, as Tirana isn't gnome themed, and making the series for myself easier isn't the point. The challenge is. Whatever option you guys choose, I will be dropping the pestle and mortar that I brought with me in episode 1. Doing this will firmly lock completing the Eyes of Gluffery behind Enlightened Journey, meaning that the new next goal will be to get 20 quest points and complete that quest. Before I go, I just want to mention box traps. It never occurred to me that Eagle's Peak is a requirement to set up a box trap, and as a result, the 5 traps that I brought with me during episode 1 are worthless. I want to send a big shout out to the bot community for ruining this for me. You guys are the reason we can't have nice things. I'm sad because Chinchompas would have been a lot of fun to have and train with, but Eagle's Peak is outside of my area restrictions and Chinchompas aren't an essential item, so rip to the Chinchompa dream.